Duena this time and the Fly Sly, part 2 of Aeon versus Team Golden Wisp. Earlier we saw before Seo-Hoon was able to get the sweep off on D Lineman. And we'll see how this goes. Different classes, different players. Should be a really, really good match. These are the 1 seeds, right? Yeah.
Yeah, these are the 1 seeds. Definitely 2 of the most accomplished players. So it should be a good one.
Actually, you got very quiet just now.
Oh, I did?
Might want to repeat whatever you just said.
Oh, okay. I was saying that it's interesting that the Flyest Lie didn't bring Druid, which even after the nerfs is still one of the better classes for THL in my opinion. And he's instead going with the much less popular Warlock.
Yeah, and I like Warlock as far as people are bringing Shaman a lot. I think it actually can do decently against Rogue, although it can be difficult. I think you have to tech it a little bit differently, maybe having something like a Twisting Nether or some silences, Mistress of Mixtures to keep your health up, because they'll be beating you up. I'd have to practice it a little bit more, but yeah, Warlock's probably a little bit better than people are thinking.
Yeah, I agree that the one thing it has going for it is the Shaman matchup. In this particular match, I think it'll struggle against Druid and Priest, assuming that's Jade Druid and Highlander Priest. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see that. Of course, the Flashlight could have gone for Zoo, which is becoming more popular of these last couple of weeks, which I assume does fairly well against Jade Druid, although I haven't played it myself.
Apparently, the Flysly's Priest was banned. Pretty easy decision with no Druid. The Flysly did ban the Druid of Duena, so Duena has Priest, Rogue, Shaman. Flysly's got Rogue, Shaman, Warlock. That is about that.
So probably more likely it's a control Warlock then with the Druid ban.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And I think they're already into their first match here.
Still without the Duena here. But
we've got Duena starting on his Shaman and the Flyest Lie on Rogue. Already we can see the Galactic Crawler tech from Duena. And that should come in very handy in this matchup. The Flyest Lie has a Swashbuckler, but chose to play the Firefly instead. And now on his turn 2, it's a little tempting to play both 1-drops, because you can curve into South Sea Captain, but he might want to save that Swashbuckler in hopes of playing Captain on 3 and pulling the 2/2 patches, for sure.
Yeah, I can't see Duena's hand. But yeah, could definitely be keeping that. Goes with the Cold Blood even, that's pretty good. Could get a lot of damage if that forces a Jade Claws into it, let's say. Oh, I got the Duena. Nice.
Jade Claws, really nice pickup for Duena here. It's gonna let him deal with this 5/2 Firefly.
Oh, took so much damage.
And now, you would think that the Flysly would just go with the South Sea Captain here. All the minions in his hand are pirates, so Duena's definitely gonna have a target for the Galactic Crawler.
Alright, I can now see both players. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think we're having some kind of troubles. I think Markshire might not have been able to hear me. Alright, Markshire's back.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this audio.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Sorry if I accidentally talked over you.
Oh no, you.
I had no idea.
I could tell that you couldn't hear me, but
okay.
Whatever.
Cool. So the Galactica is finally gonna come down, and Duena is deciding whether or not to kill the pirate or not. He's gonna opt for the 1/2. But the Fly Slide does have South Sea Captain in hand, so he might get slightly punished for that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a consideration to be taking out the pirate. For some reason, I still can't see both hands. This is frustrating.
That's pretty annoying. So
I'm just gonna quit Hearthstone and get back in there.
The Fly Slide here, he can go for the South Sea Captain plus the backstab plus the deckhand and clear off this entire board and leave himself with the captain and a 3/1 deckhand if he wants to. Definitely seems like the most efficient play. Forked Lightning is also possible. He'll have less overall on the board here. Actually, this is about the same, and it's about the best value that he's going to get out of Forked Lightning this game. So that makes a lot of sense when you take into account that he doesn't have that many cards in hand. He really needs to get a lot of value out of them, so I like the Forked Lightning there.
Alright, I am coming back in. Forked Lightning.
And Dwayna is already down to
Wait, did
15
you say
health.
Lightning?
Yep, yeah, he got it off Swashbuckler.
Oh. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Alright, Prince Kelsa shows up. Also a Shadow Step. At this point, the hand is so dry, I think you probably would just end up keeping that maybe for an SI or Leroy or something.
Yeah, cheap spells can be very useful.
Yeah.
In this deck.
Vile Spine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think saving it makes sense. The Fly Sly is just going to try to see what he can do with this board. And Dwayna, I think, is going to be forced to just Totem, Flame Tongue Totem, and play the Argent Squire. It's a really awkward position, as he's got cards like the Death Knight and Bloodlust. And Thing from Below is only just now getting discounted. It was at 6 mana coming into this turn. That's not something you usually see.
Definitely. Tar Creeper is pretty good. Can make it so less trading is needed here.
Yeah, that's a solid pickup. Lai will be able to just clear off the Flame Tongue here and the Healing Totem. I think I'll just ignore the Argent Squire for now.
Might even just... Well, let's see. Reasons to kill the Healing Totem is another Flame Tongue for sure. Greater chances of rolling spell damage. Yeah, it makes sense too, but looks like it's not happening.
There's merit to going phase 2. The Fly Sly knows that he needs to end the game quickly because he essentially just has an empty hand right now. There's a good chance that Shadow Step isn't really going to do that much. It can be 2 damage if he Shadow Steps the deckhand back. But in terms of impact over the next couple turns, unless he picks up a Vile Spine or SI, it might not be great.
Yep, so let's see, there's Thing from Below, which can get slightly cheaper with another 1 getting played. That would that be enough? That would absorb 5 damage, and then
Yeah, I think he definitely wants to totem Thing from Below.
Could
play
take
the Flame
a gamble
Elemental.
on Thrall.
He could. That would give him 5 armor. Yeah. So, wow, looks like he is going for the Thrall. And he'll no longer be able to discount his Thing from Below now with his hero power.
Yeah.
Those are not bad 3-drops at all.
Yeah, especially Emperor Cobra, but now this will be lethal with the
yeah,
and the
that's
Shadow
lethal.
Step, right?
Yep, I think he's 1 over.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, saving that Shadow Step really paid off for the Fly Sly. Let him combo the Cold Blood. Or it was 2 over.
Rogue ekes it out over Shaman. Would have been possible to stabilize there somehow, some way, but didn't turn out. Didn't get taunts. So let's see. Fly Sly just has Shaman and Warlock now. Could throw that Warlock up there, even Shaman's still there.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty popular strategy for people to just queue up the same deck that they've lost with, so I wouldn't be surprised to see the Fly Slide go for Warlock, expecting the token Shaman.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. Be curious to see this Warlock. Definitely not Zoo.
So he opted to go for the Shaman instead.
Okay.
And Priest, generally a good matchup for the Priest. We see a Hot Springs Guardian in the Fly Sly's hand, though. So I'm wondering what this is. Maybe this is some sort of control shaman?
Yeah,
Elemental shaman, possibly?
Some elemental type deal, but... Or it could just be some anti-aggro tech as well.
Loot Hoarder and Jinyu. Wow.
Okay, this speaks to N'Zoth. I would think. Galaka too, wow. This has it all.
No, I think this is like a N'Zoth shaman. That's very interesting. I would think that the Priest is still a favorite here.
Yeah, because by the time you're playing N'Zoth, they very well could have had their Death Knight up for a bit, or they have been able to keep the Dragonfire, or Lyra's gotten out of control. Just with such a long game going up against Highlander Priest, the possibilities of the dirty stuff they could have been doing leading up to that N'Zoth are just, yeah.
Yeah. Dwayna here, looks like he's thinking about coining out a 3-drop. I like the Acolyte of Pain. The coin is very useful in Highlander Priest, especially in the late game. It can mean 2 extra damage with your hero power, but the Acolyte just lines up so well against this Loot Hoarder, and Dwayna really needs cards in this position. His hand is pretty useless. It's just a bunch of board clears and cheap minions that don't do that much against a control deck.
Yeah, so just play your own Acolyte. It's possible that there could have been a Devolve to handle this Acolyte, but yeah, coining it out, something you can do. For sure, had the Gluttonuses to follow up anyway. Now
and he does get the Devolve, but he's already given Dwayna a card, so it doesn't really seem worth it now.
Yeah. Play your own Acolyte, and let's see, no Shadow Word Pain, no Silence.
There is no Shadow Word Pain. Power Word Shield on the Acolyte, though, is very powerful if Dwayna wants to opt for that route, going for the Radiant Elemental and then the Power Word Shield. He could even kill the Acolyte off completely with the Holy Smite. At this point, I think it's inevitable that the Fly Sly is going to get multiple draws from the Acolyte, so Dwayna could just give them to him now.
Yeah. Could also heal up the Acolyte, but that'd be pretty brave.
Yeah, always good to get value out of your hero power in these control matchups as well.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to go for the Radiant Elemental play, though. And picks up Kazakus. That'll come in handy down the line. He doesn't have Raza or the Death Knight yet, but Kazakus is very nice.
Yeah, decide to go early with the Radiant Elemental too. And Powered Shielded the Acolyte, so it's still up. Let's see. Evolve seems pretty good. Maybe there's a pirate. Nope.
Yeah, Devolve definitely the play here, and the Fly Sly recognizes that there aren't going to be any pirates in Dwayna's deck, so just plays this 2-3 down for tempo.
Yeah, so Kazakus could happen now. With Dragonfire in hand, yeah, it seems pretty reasonable to go for a 5, I'd say.
Yeah, I think I would. I mean, this game will probably go on for a while, but so there is some merit to a 10 mana potion, but I think the 5 mana one is generally more versatile.
Dwayna knows there's some funny business going on. We saw that Loot Hoarder. Just really not typical stuff here. Got the AoE there, right, I think?
He might have taken friendly minions, although I feel like the AoE isn't going to do much in this particular matchup. But then again, all the minions that Priest runs are relatively weak. So he did go for the AoE.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of AoE, there's a Maelstrom portal, which, yeah, the Thanos Maelstrom portal against Priest is really not going to be that great, so gets it while I can. There's the card.
This is nice.
Haven't seen in a little while.
Yeah, but now that Thalnos is really good for Dwayna because he can get the draw from it with Potion of Madness.
Oh yeah.
And here I think he just played the Curious Glimmer route. Try to pick up another card while he's ahead on the board.
Get more options. Yeah, I know
Definitely
this is kind of a crazy deck, but you know it's Lightning Storm.
And Dwayna now has 4 board clears in his hand.
Yeah, that's a pretty good formula to be having, but now the Jades are going to be adding a different picture now with Aya to come. Doomsayer too even. Could plop it down here.
Yeah, I mean, Doomsayer isn't getting that much better. This way, Dwayna can sort of get a board lead, though, with the Tark Creeper. It matches up really nicely against the 2/1/1s.
Mm-hmm.
And the Fly is thinking about using that second Devolve now. Again, it probably doesn't get that much better. Well. Priest usually has pretty weak
seriously,
minions.
oh, look, a pirate.
Oh, nice. So he'll finally get some value out of this Palaka Crawler.
Yeah, pretty good in protecting the Manatide Totem here, which...
Yep.
Yeah, wow. No...
Oh, there's a White Ice.
Actually take that out outside of the potion.
Yeah, I wonder if Dwayna... I think he's almost forced off for one of his board clears here. Just to get that Manatide Totem off the board.
Get a little Smork off here, get the Doomsayer out there, yeah, makes a lot of sense. You don't want them to be drawing 2 cards with that.
Yep, Doomsayer feels a lot better seeing both of the Devolves as well.
Oh, Volcano even, and White Eyes, yeah, White Eyes, Aya, the N'Zoth is definitely going to be looking up. Just in time, and in the meanwhile, Dwayna's going to keep drawing. It's the Golden Gnomish, or non-golden, sorry.
So he picks up Elise. Slipsh, I feel like you've played more Highlander Priest than I have. What do you think about Elise in the deck?
I love Elise. I like Elise a lot more than the Velen variants, especially with the Priest band. It just keeps you from running out of cards, and that's good with the Death Knight in general.
Yeah, I think it's a solid card with how much cycle you're already running. And just getting a 5/5 body for 5 is really good in the mid-range matchups. Gluttonous Ooze is going to be really good here.
Mm-hmm, yep.
And I think he'll combo with the Elise.
Not even one swing. Oh, has Elise and Velen. Okay. I mean, yeah, they're not mutually exclusive for sure.
No, I mean, and there's so many different ways that you can build Highlander Priest. As a Highlander deck, you're always going to have a lot of tech options, so... I'm sure in THL people are bringing pretty unique lists because of how many different things you can do with the deck.
Mm-hmm.
So the N'Zoth is in hand for the Fly.
Oh, perfect.
But he can't play it this turn.
Yeah, I'll get it after that White Eyes probably. It'd be good to slam it down, just get Aya back, another White Eyes, another chance to draw that 10/10. Okay. Anduin has showed up. Definitely not the time to play it now. This is...
This is tough.
Lightning Storm could roll high on either Aya or the 3/3, and you could follow up with Holy Nova. Overloading for 2 is not too bad, really. Still able to play most of things you'd like.
Yeah, I feel like Dwayna is more than likely going to float 2 mana on his next turn anyways. the Lightning Storm isn't bad. It's just sort of awkward that if he does high roll on the Aya, it'll be a 4/4 that comes out, which will be awkward to deal with. And low rolling on it is pretty awkward to deal with as well. But Lightning Storm probably isn't getting that much better.
Yeah, the Thanos got played too, I think.
Oh, and he is going to go for the Death Knight.
Surrender Elise here, unfortunately, but yeah, no.
Yeah, and he was able to push 5 damage, so Dwayna can end this game very quickly in the next couple turns. The Fly only has 6 heal in hand, and Dwayna has Velen.
Able to do the hero powering stuff sooner rather than later.
Of course, without Raza, the power is going to be somewhat limited.
Yes. Especially, yeah, the Velen's basically useless until that point, too.
Yeah.
And, yeah, will this... It could force the Lightning Storm and Holy Nova rather than Dragonfire.
I think I like the Dragonfire a little bit more. Looks like is going to opt for that, and he's going to play the Loot Hoarder here instead of Hero Powering a second time. Again, just because he really needs to find Raza.
Really needs to. So Dragonfire's down. There's still combinations of death.
Oh, and he finds it.
Yeah, so Raza, Hero Power on the Aya? Maybe? Okay.
Or he's just going all face.
Yeah, and just deathing something, I guess.
Probably death the White Eyes. That means he can push 2 damage with the Loot Hoarder. So Dwayna is setting up lethal for next turn. He doesn't know that the Fly has heal in hand, but this Velen is going to do a lot of damage. He has, I think he has 10 damage next turn.
Not to mention the Storm's going to be powered up by Velen too, which will clear...
Oh, that's true.
Thing. That's insane. And the sad thing is that the Fly can't play around that.
Yeah. So he'll heal, and he could heal again with Hot Springs, actually, but he'll play the 10-10 for pressure instead. Probably the right call. Is that's lethal, isn't it? With the silence pickup
now too.
Yeah.
That's yeah, that's 12 damage right there. Wow.
Yeah, okay, this Lightning Storm.
It'll be 1/1 here. The Priest takes out the Shaman, which, yeah, even the slower variant, which has a better chance than the Token Shaman. Although, I don't know, maybe the Token Shaman just has it better with the chance to high roll Doppelgangster.
Yeah, I think at night it's just not being able to pressure the Priest at all gives them so much time to draw into their combo pieces. I don't think that the Fly brought that deck with Priest in mind, really. I feel like he had to be thinking of the Rogue or the Shaman instead, because I still don't think that Shaman deck is favored.
Yeah, true. Yeah, of course that Shaman's also better against the Rogue and the Shaman, big time. Assuming standard token Shaman and Keloseth.
Yep.
Fly so, continuing with Shaman against Rogue.
Yeah, this is a pretty solid opening, I think. Edwin is always nice to have, unless the Shaman hits the Devolve, of course, but South Sea Captain, a very important card in pulling a 2/2 patches, and if Dwayna ends up drawing Keloseth, then it can be a 3/3, or even more with Shadow Steps.
Yeah, the Fly keeps everything, some AoE, some Jade Claws, some Jade Lightning, seems good. And in the meantime, I'm just getting that thing from Bloodcheaper. And yeah, wow, you're right about that Edwin.
Yeah.
He's going to demand a Devolve. I wonder if the Fly is even playing Hex.
I would be very surprised after the nerf. I mean, I guess it fits in pretty well in the deck, but Devolve is solid as removal anyways, so it may not be necessary. I think going for the 6/6 Edwin is pretty solid this turn. just making the read that your opponent doesn't have Devolve.
Mm.
Of course, he could also go for it next turn as well and fit in the Flame Elemental. So it looks like he is just going to choose to Hero Power and take it slow, seeing as you can get an even bigger Edwin next turn. It makes sense. And get more value out of the backstab.
Yeah, make it even bigger next turn, can use the backstab. Yeah, this is going to be really, really big.
Yep.
Would absolutely demand a Devolve. Or Hex. It is 4. It is 4 mana.
That's true.
Now.
It's still playable.
Maybe just soften it up with Jade Lightning in preparation for Volcano, although Volcano would probably do the job anyway.
I wonder if he... So the Flashlight is going to choose to Totem. I think there was some merit to just Mana Tide there. You could save 8 damage on your face if your opponent trades, and even if it dies, you're okay with just taking the card, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Why not play the Mana Tide?
So many options.
So, yeah, now, Dwayna, he can just go for the SI plus the Cold Blood on the Flame Elemental here and push a lot of damage. Of course, his board would still be weak to Volcano if he goes for that, but it may not be a card in his mind right now. He did see it in the last game, however.
Yeah, alternatively, could keep that Cold Blood to be comboing the Vile Spine Slayer. Oh wow, it just goes right on the
Edwin too. I guess you know they don't have Devolve, and this lets you kill off the Wrath of Air Totem as well. Of course, that isn't really going to matter with Volcano. But Dwayna has solid follow-up. Lotus Assassin, that's a card you don't see too often in Tempo Rogue. But
a lot of lists ran one right off the bat, and then I think eventually got cut from the deck. But
yeah, I remember when Tempo Rogue was just beginning to become popular. I saw it in a lot of decks, but not as much recently. The Fly Sly here, he could immediately contest the 5/5 with the 5/5 of his own and Thing from Below, or opt to get some healing with Jinyu, as he is rather low. I believe the only serious burst this rogue runs is Leroy, if any. They, of course, can't run Eviscerates because of Prince Galisa.
I think... let's see. Jinyu would leave with 6 mana next turn, which is a fine amount to have. Unless Jade Lightning, Lightning Storm would become necessary. Yeah, the Thing from Below is just going to keep getting cheaper. Aya's playable next turn.
Yep. This is sort of an awkward hand for Dwayna now.
Yeah, so the Lotus Assassin, it can indeed kill the Jinyu and then become stealth again. But how good is that, really? Might just be better to go face.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Just a lot of combo cards and not a great way to combo them. Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
See what Reina ends up doing. I feel like the only thing he really can do is just hero power right now.
Yeah, I don't think
he could play the Plague Scientist for tempo, I guess.
These cards just aren't worth playing for tempo because they're just dead. Okay, he's gonna go for the kill, and yeah, there will be a Plague Scientist because the tempo's actually fine now that the thing's dead. Yeah, Lightning Storm and Mana Tide, I guess. It'll have paid to keep. It's going to have paid to keep that Mana Tide out there.
That's true. So Arduino really needs a good pickup from the Swashbuckler. He wants to stay in this game. Evolve doesn't really do that much. I mean, if he wants to, he can Vile Spine this Mana Tide and then Evolve, try to high roll a good 6-drop.
That would be a very good Evolve because of the Vile Spine. Only because, and yeah, obviously upgrading these.
Cornered Sentry. That is...
These are amazing 2-drops.
Is that the best 2-drop that you can get?
Yeah, Dirty
Close
Rat's
to the best,
same.
I think. Of course, the counter, the Vol comes in. It's going to make the board significantly worse.
Puts them back down to 1-drops. Gets a reasonable 5 to clear. Blood Imp's going to get out of control, though, obviously. And that's even a pretty decent Bone Mare target. Make it a productive member of society here.
Yep. Yeah. I definitely like Bone Mare on the 0-1.
Yeah, and then there's another Devolve to counter that as well. Although it's not really doing it against Bone Mare. It's kind of a wash, if anything.
Right. The Zero Poison Mind in Dwayna's hand, another sort of uncommon card, I would think. But Dwayna really needs value right now. He's sort of out of cards, so Zero is going to come in handy next turn.
Yeah, Zero's been becoming more popular. For sure, I think. I like it a lot, just to keep cheap things flowing, to be able to combo. Well, that Bone Mare actually downgraded, which is incredible.
That is unfortunate, but well, actually, the Fly Sly can go ahead and kill it off. He'll take 4 in the process, but Jade Lightning, Jade Claws still seems very solid. Getting a 3/3 and a 4/4 on the board.
Yeah. Thing from Below time, I think. Oh, could have been Thing from Below, and I don't know how ambitious the Fly Sly here is about the Spirit Echo at this point. Thought maybe dropping it on the Thing from Below would have been good.
Yeah, that was the line I was looking at as well.
Definitely
a card. Wow.
Didn't even think about this. So the bad
really
situation has become a good situation. That's amazing. Wow.
Definitely didn't think that Dwayna would get that much value out of the Black Knight, but yeah, here we are. Fly Sly is going to pick up another Thing from Below, though. And he still just has a lot of answers in his hand. Having saved that Jade Lightning, he'll be able to kill off the 4/5, and now he'll get the Spirit Echo off on the Thing from Below.
Yeah. So ended up paying off to be waiting. Definitely gotta get rid of that Black Knight. He might get Shadow Stepped again.
So Dwayna's really just relying on random Shaman cards. With the Swashbuckler, and then...
Which can pay off, and now random discovered cards.
So he'll take Bloodlust. I don't think is going to be the pick here.
I guess
he's falling behind quickly on the board. Wild Growth makes the most sense. I wonder if Dwayna's running Leroy. He doesn't have Shadow Step anymore, but he definitely needs something else to close out this game. Could pick up a second Bone Mare.
Let's see what Zero's got.
King's Blood Toxin. That's one. That is definitely one that you want here.
They're just toteming up for the potential Maelstrom portal. Would have done a little bit of work. So yeah, probably killing some stuff. Definitely that Lotus Agent could kill off Thing from Below and be able to resummon one rather than leaving a weak one around. Thing from Below is how cheap now? 1 mana, or is it free?
I think it's still 2 mana, or it would be 1 because he just totemed this turn.
Yeah.
So that seems fine.
Okay, not going to... I don't think it's 0 mana.
There is little time.
So not going to be resummoning, which could be a risk, but got the taunt totem, so whatever.
Dwayne is going to get another King's Blood Toxin.
Oh,
And there's
that
a Leroy, but
and
a little
all
too late.
those card draws. Let's see, we saw the one Cold Blood and we saw one Shadow Step, so it'll take...
Ooh, Spellbreaker.
Oh, that's really good.
That's a really big pickup.
And nullifies the Spirit Echo.
Does Dwayne just want to attack with the Shaku first into the Taunt Totem? Yeah,
Yeah.
he does, because
That
with the
random
Spellbreaker,
shot.
I think you've committed to silencing the thing from below.
It's a nice little ice fishing right there. Imagine if you got Wind Fury.
Yeah.
Your magic shall not.
Yeah, but that
And-
Spellbreaker is just wow.
Yep,
Able
with the
to
Tar
stall.
Creeper. So now Dwayne is just a Shadow Step away from winning the game next turn. He's thinking about going face. Does this 1 damage ever matter? I think it's pretty unlikely.
Yeah, it takes out the wolf. Could have been a flame tongue or something. Oh my god, Nazat's here. So that'll...
Oh, man.
What died though? No White Eyes, right?
No, White Eyes has not died this game. I don't even know what Nazoth brings back. I don't think it brings back any taunts.
Aya's...
Well, now it brings back Aya, yeah.
Hmm.
You think you
Yeah.
have to kill off this Shaku?
Yeah, kill it off. No more random cards. Get that Aya back. Unfortunately not setting up lethal. Not without a top deck.
No, not quite. So Dwayne still has a couple draws to pick up that Shadow Step, which right now is the only way that he can win this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just the one card. Oh, plays the Wild Growth. After.
I think he was...
Forgot.
I wonder if he was playing
Package
South Sea
Doubtful.
first to... Yeah, that would be the only reason, but of course...
That would
Package
be
is
the
already
reason.
played.
Yeah, let's go fishing.
Don't
I guess
think
can
there are any
still have
Warlocks
that,
in his deck.
can still have that Cold Blood out by taking a dagger to the face.
Yep. Oh, man. And that
Yeah,
probably
that'll
seals
seal
it.
then. Might as well summon some more friends here. Definitely toteming up though. Try and get the other taunt. Yeah, wow, the Jades actually got huge because of that Aya getting resummoned. So yeah, very close for Dwayna, but no dice.
Prince Kaliseth in the bottom 10, and it's not going to do anything this game.
Truth is power, he says. Okay, so the Shaman did its job, and the Fly Slide just has to pull one out with the Warlock against Rogue or Shaman, so seems pretty good for the Fly Sly.
Yeah, I think so.
Taking the series.
Really looking forward to seeing what this Warlock is going to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see.
And it looks to be a pretty standard hand lock with the Twilight Drake, which I think would be unfavored against the Tempo Rogue. Dwayne, on the other hand, picking up Swashbuckler, but is probably going to toss back all of these cheap spells. Maybe Pildraw Kaliseth this time.
Ooh, Spellbreaker good if there is a Twilight Drake. Pirates into South Sea, pretty good deal. It'll depend
not
on
bad.
It'll depend on what sort of defile the Fly Sly is looking for.
Now, this Tainted Zealot in combination with Defile is going to be really good. And the Galaka Crawler.
Oh, nice. So won't
A
even
lot
have
of
to,
anti-aggro tech in the Fly Sly's hand.
won't even have to pull this defile off necessarily. Oh, that makes a huge difference. So the
That's
South Sea
huge.
captain can just get dealt with. and then the rest will get sorted out. Yeah, I think that's a pretty smart Doomsayer.
Yep, even throwing the Mistress in, so I guess the Fly Sly is really counting on this Doomsayer dying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Dwayne would have to coin Spellbreaker if he wants to keep his board.
It's probably worth it.
Yeah, I think he's forced to, just to maintain tempo, and then he'll just push face.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Pretty good Hellfire, though. I think it's fine.
Yep, I think it's fine. Makes sense to save the Tainted Zealot Defile combo. Alternatively, he could Shadow Bolt the Spellbreaker and trade it into the 2/2, but Shadow Bolt might be more versatile than Hellfire as this game goes on.
Yeah, because now the Prince Caliceth was played, so minions are generally going to be more on the side of being out of Hellfire range. As things are going here, Shadow Bolt could be really useful for softening up some of the new stuff.
Right. Oh, he's gonna go for the Defile, wow.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't have expected that with the Tainted Zealot in hand. So, yeah, now, like you said, with all the minions that are buffed, Hellfire is not necessarily going to do that much. You can see the South Sea Captain is at a 4/4.
Yeah. Well, the Zealot's still there with Hellfire, with Shadow Bolt.
True. Yeah.
For whatever that's going to be worth. Could clear here in a turn. Yeah, take out the Captain in the meantime with Galaka, I'm thinking.
Yeah, Galaka definitely should come down this turn.
Could also Shadow Bolt too. Yeah, I don't think the
it's
Mountain
fine.
Giant's ever getting played for a while. That's fine. You don't expect it. So let's see. Yeah, South Sea number 2 shows up. Could alternatively put that Tar Creeper up. Unless he's planning to kill the Galaka. Dagger.
Yeah, I think I like the Tar Creeper as well. Killing the Galaka feels really bad here.
The pace is really slowed down, but as long as Dwayne can keep something up for Bone Mare, it shouldn't be too lost. Yeah, maybe if with a Defile having been played, maybe with the Tar Creeper you can play the 1-drops as well and set up for South Sea maybe. Oh, that's a good card. Why not?
Not a bad pickup at all. So the Tar Creeper does get played here.
Mm-hmm.
And the Fly Sly, he can still clear if he wants to. He could go for the Hellfire.
Mm-hmm. And then maybe, honestly, even just getting that Zealot up for tempo at that point with... I mean, there's more cards you could tap into, but it might be better just to have that Zealot out there to, say, do something with the Despicable Dreadlord and Mortal Coil, maybe. Set something up to be down to 1, possibly.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the Tempo Zealot makes a lot of sense.
Tempo Zealot could even... Oh, well, no, obviously you want to keep the Divine Shield. Don't get that extra damage for no reason.
Extra 1 damage in on your opponent's face.
And on yours, which is way less. Unless there's Molten Giant.
Right. So...
Oh, this works
This
too.
is interesting.
Yeah.
Not a complete clear, but
yeah.
Still, it maintains board presence. The Fly Sly is still ahead on board with this play, and will sort of force Dwayna to overextend into a possible Zealot Hellfire next turn.
Yeah,
Plague Scientist is really coming in handy, though.
Yeah, the more I run into this card on ladder, the more I think it's a really, really, really good inclusion. So yeah, can still go with that Hellfire, and even get a Voidwalker up behind it too.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely going to every measure to prevent Bone Mare.
Right. The Firefly has dealt with these early boards really well, but he's running out of cards.
Oh,
That
yeah.
Mountain Giant is just not playable right now, and Twilight Drake is only going to be a 4-3 or maybe a 4-4.
Yeah. Siphon Soul or something would be useful. Ooh, that's interesting.
I think I like Doomsayer.
Doomsayer going off would lead to a playable Mountain Giant, but
Yeah.
you have to wonder how good that would even be with Vile Spine Slayer.
Yeah, just big minions are not that great against this rogue deck. The Fly Sly already knows that Dueno plays Plague Scientist, and of course 2 Vile Spines are core in pretty much any tempo rogue deck.
Going for the big old Bone Mare.
Yep, and he'll kill off the Tainted Zealot.
So, yeah, Bone Mare could have some potential for pushing a lot of damage with Shadow Step. Now, I think the Fly Slime might just be done.
Yeah, he's forced to tap here for an answer. I think he has to pick up Siphon Soul.
Yeah. Yeah, it has to be Siphon Soul. Unless, even Silence wouldn't really work out unless it was like Ironbeak Owl, but then you'd be Hellfiring, which not ideal either. Alright, there is Siphon Soul, so yeah, definitely taking out the Tar Lurker. Oh! Oh, interesting. Okay. Keeping the Tar Lurker up because I guess it's just not as threatening. It plays really well around the Shadow Step, honestly. Maybe that was
Interesting.
why. It is less damage, of course.
So this is just lethal though, right?
With the 3 damage South Sea, which will remain 3 damage, yeah. Forgot about it being 3. Even with the Shadow Step. Right? It remains 3. Or not. If it gets Shadow Step, does it go back down to... Duena,
No, I mean I think this is clear
Duena
lethal.
appears to be perhaps performing a quick Google search. Goes back to 2 apparently. Hockey Boys confirms. Okay. Yeah. You might as well just Shadow Step it back anyway.
Right.
Oh no, SI7. And just gets that too. Let's see. Only 1 Despicable Dreadlord got played. 1 Voidwalker got played. Nothing else is going to do it, so we're gonna
still
save
5
this.
armor.
Yeah, but just or were there 2 Voidwalkers? No, just 1 Voidwalker.
Just the 1.
Yeah. Yep. So the Warlock not quite doing against the Rogue, but it's going to have much better odds against the Shaman anyway. So 2-2. Warlock versus Duena's Shaman to decide it all.
Yeah, and this Warlock already favored against the Shaman. I would say the Tainted Zealot counts as anti-aggro tech because it's mainly in the deck for Defile. So Duena is really going to need to probably get a good Doppel Evolve off, or maybe a good Thrall Deathseer to get into this game.
Yep. Defile and Hellfire already right off the bat. Even Mortal Coil 2 getting kept. Doomsayer.
Yeah. A lot of really nice anti-aggro cards for the Fly Sly.
No early board is going to get out of control. That much.
The second Defile, wow.
Yeah, why not? You just tap endlessly. I don't think Dwayne is going to want to Jade Claws, want to get that Manatide out there.
Yeah.
Do you hero power? Yeah.
I think I hero power. The Flame Elemental can probably be fit in the mana curve pretty easily in the next couple turns.
Yeah,
So
Flame Tongue
tournament's
Totem
fine.
wasn't ideal either, for sure. Give the Doomsayer crack. Force a Devolve on an awkward turn is kind of nice.
Yep.
And they're...
And Dwayne doesn't have it.
Nope, and the Flame Tongue's not going to be enough. Yeah, so just Doomsayer being able to do its thing is going to... More tapping, more AoE, going to power up a nice Twilight Drake, yeah.
Yeah, this is solid. Dwayne is not going to have an answer for it. He could play Thing from Below here if he wants to. It's the only thing he can play that won't actually die. No, just to this Twilight Drake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, works well. Oh my god, the Lich King too. Wow. Well, Dwayne does have Evolve, only one Doppelgangster away at any point. And this can definitely be dealt with. Just that one Manatide's awkward enough. But Flashlight would probably just play that Despicable Dreadlord.
Yeah, I think he will. Just getting a 4 or 5 on the board. Card isn't that important.
Yeah, so the pace of the game seems to be going just fine. Still 2 AoEs. Getting some demons dead. No Doppelgangster yet. And even the Lich King, which... Yeah, I don't know that the Lich King's too necessary for what the Warlock was trying to do in this matchup, but
Yeah,
Whatever.
definitely not a card you see in all the Warlock lists, but it's not bad.
Oh no, definitely. It's hard to
Another,
with him.
yeah, another really poor draw for Dwayna, and he's just running out of minions. He only
Yep.
has the Firefly in his hand right now, so yeah, he really needs that Doppelgangster.
Yep, and the unfortunate curse of the combination of Primal Fin and 2 health minions is that it just plays right into the file. Oh, so he
Yep.
plays around it by evolving.
But unfortunately doesn't even play around Defile because the Falnos means that it will easily die. The whole board.
Yeah. And then also gets the second Doomsayer out ahead of that. Nailing it with these clears. Even has a full enough hand this time around to be playing that Mountain Giant, which, yeah, is that a
Yeah.
reason to hold this Mistress back?
I think so. He just doesn't really have to play it at all.
No, not that low. I have the weirdest visual bug right now with that Bloodlust. It is flipped on its side.
Wow.
Duck.
So Dwayne is going to attempt to build off the board again because it's the only thing that he can do in an attempt to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll just totem and play the Thing from Below. Maybe even throw the Maelstrom Portal out there. I mean, is it getting any better?
Nah. It's not. Yep, so help set up for what? Flame Tongue Bloodlust, something like that?
Yep. Sets up pretty nicely, but again, the Firefly has access to a full board clear. He can just Defile and Siphon Soul.
Mm-hmm. Yep, also doesn't have to Siphon Soul. Could do something like get that Mistress out there, Defile, Twilight Drake.
Yep, that's true. He can develop pretty nicely as well. If he doesn't want to completely clear the board. Of note, if he does use the Defile here, that will be the last board clear in his hand, and most of them in his deck. So Dwayne is still in the game if he can pick up a Doppelgangster.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that Weasel Tunneler could mess up the Fly Slide at some point. Decides to try and go for that Mountain Giant, yeah.
Side effects? No. Trust me.
And Maelstrom Portal is probably the last card that Dueno wanted to see here.
Yep, although, yeah, some spell damage could help out.
I mean, he can clear off the Mountain Giant, I guess, but he's not getting any face damage in. He's barely staying alive on the board.
Yeah,
but
basically
maybe that's what he has to do.
Be stalling for Doppelgangster still at that point, which 15 cards left in the deck. It's
Relax. It's a party.
getting somewhat likely to be happening, but
Right, so he's gonna totem afterwards, and he could have gotten spell damage, but I guess that didn't matter because he was just evolving anyways.
okay, goes for the big evolve, which, hey, these cards aren't actually that bad. Honestly, the 3-1 gets the 2-2 after it. Random mage spell could be very helpful.
Yeah, he could pick up a Pyroblast potentially. There's a lot of things Shimmering Tempest can give.
Yeah, so probably just Lich King. And
Yeah.
treating the Mistress to assure the heal, I guess.
Yep, Lich King does come in handy here. It is a taunt, which this deck definitely wants a lot.
Firelands Portal, pretty good mage card.
Definitely one of the best cards that he could have gotten.
Yeah, and can clear the board as the Thrall Death Seer. Which, yeah, if you can evolve that Coda, that's pretty good.
Yeah, could get a 7-drop next turn, potentially.
Just gonna go with the Blood Reaver Gul'dan, although I don't think it's just a Despicable Dreadlord? I don't think a Voidwalker even got played.
Yeah, I believe so.
But yeah, to be doing the Siphon Life ASAP, it's definitely worthwhile at this point. No more need to tap. Plenty of good cards in hand. Frostmourne, Siphon Souls. What more could you want, really? Alright, Thrall, what do you got? This Kodo's gonna go up to a 6 mana. It's basically all going to be on how good this Kodo is.
Oh, Swamp King Dread.
Well, that's getting Siphon.
Yeah.
Oh, King Mukla, very good.
Could have done a lot if there wasn't a Siphon, but...
King
well.
Mukla is, yeah, really, really good. Thoughts on whether to trade for the Demented Frostcaller or the Imp Master? Probably the Frostcaller. The Imps are just whatever.
I mean, they do represent more damage for Bloodlust.
I was thinking that maybe there wouldn't have even been a Siphon instead. Or maybe a Siphon onto the Mukla or something. I don't know. Is this Mukla evolving? Or would you rather keep it and evolve the... Yeah.
I think you keep it. The 4-drop is probably not going to be much better than a 5-3 on average. Blade Champion, so Duena gets a little bit of damage in.
You got a little bit of damage. Now, the Flysly could do the Mountain Giant Faceless Chamber, but I almost wonder if the better play would be to just clear the board, prevent evolves from happening. Like
yeah,
that.
I wonder if there's a way that he loses by playing these 8/8s out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Devolve got played, I think.
Yeah. So Doppelgangster, a little late than what Duena was hoping, but still one of the better draws here. He's going to be able to pick up a 6-drop. 4/7 isn't the best, but it's not horrible.
Yep. Just definitely killing these Doppelgangsters, prevent them from evolving. Yeah, and now the board's clear, so... Good Bloodlust, Devolve, yeah, that does nothing against Mountain Giant. This is probably it for Duena now, officially. But
Yeah,
we'll see.
I think so.
There's another Doppelgangster which can get drawn and evolved. Probably just smacking with that Frostmourne at this point. Yeah, it sets up lethal, right?
Yep, does set up for lethal.
Okay, yeah, it seems like the Warlock slowly but surely ended up doing its job.
Follow the rules. Well played.
The death
So-
to each other.
Yeah. Fly is gonna take it then, 3-2.
Yeah, looking really, really good for Team Golden Wisp. Going up in these early matches with 3 left to get played. They're up 8-2.
Yeah, that would be 8-2. Very nice lead for them going in. But Aeon still has hope to win the series.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally. You can never get too complacent here when you start to get ahead. Yeah, but that's going to be it. Where we're going to keep seeing where this turns out. And yeah, that's going to be it for tonight for this Aeon Team Golden Wisp showdown. We'll probably see something similar again in the playoffs, at least from one of these teams.
Definitely. I think that both of these teams are still going to be in the playoffs and probably do very well, even though they'll be on the same side of it.
More than likely. Yep, but thanks for watching, everybody. And tune in for the THL Sunday Ticket tomorrow for some SHL action. And I think Hockey Boy said he was going to stream his match. Some other people might be streaming their THL matches, so keep an eye out for the Discord links and memes, the Facebook pages, the social forum, just all that. And yeah, that's going to be it. Bye.
Bye.